We started the season very well and the transfer window has closed. Let's show you what we've done. Hello everyone, I'm Dan. Welcome to part 14 of Fearless Foxes here on Reesy FC. This is the Director of Football Challenge series with Leicester City. And once again, I've still got the cough that you would have seen in yesterday's video, where there's a lot of jump cuts, so expect it today. In fact, I can already feel the throat going and a cough coming, so apologies for all the jump cuts that will probably be in this video once again. And as I just said, we started really well in the league this year. We're currently 6th, but that's because we've still got games in hand. We've played in Europe already. We've played in the Carabao Cup, and it's all seemingly going well so far. Let's show you exactly how we've been getting on then, results-wise. You was with us for the first game of the season against Crystal Palace then, when James Maddison scored the winner early on in the game. We went away to Newcastle, won 3-0. Great performance there. Jamie Vardy getting 2, Harvey Barnes scoring as well. Everton at home was a fantastic game. Look at that, 6-3. Was it 5-0 at half-time? I think it was 5-0. It was 5-0 at half-time. Harvey Barnes getting 2, Vardy getting a brace, Vlasic scoring as well, and Gazelle also on the score sheet. Calvert-Lewin scored twice and Iwobi scored for them. Very entertaining game indeed. If we have a look at the match, we can't look at the match. It's still doing that thing where we can't go back too far. We can only go back 3 games at a time. But very good match, 5-0 at half-time. Thought second half we were a bit poor. We lost second half 3-1 technically, and we did that was a Jekyll and Hyde performance. We need to do better than that in the second half. We went away to Spurs and we said these 2 games were going to be tough. Tottenham was a 0-0 draw. We should have won the game. Vardy missed an absolute sitter. He missed an open goal, but from a tight angle and hit the side netting, and Harvey Barnes was through one-on-one and absolutely skied one, so we should have won that game. Really, Manchester City was next up. We was 2-0 down in this game. We managed to put it back to 2-2. And then, unfortunately, John Stones managed to score a goal to make it 3-2. So it was quite unlucky there. But we take 1 point from them 2 games. We said them 2 away games. As long as we win the other 3 league games, anything's a bonus from them. And we got the point at Spurs. Arguably could have got the point at City, but they did deserve to win the game ultimately. We played Stade Rennais in the Europa League. We'll show you the Europa League group next. Oh, you can see it there, really. Stade Rennais, Sevilla, and FC Thingy-Mabob. I can't pronounce it and I'm not going to try it. So they're the 3 anyway. FC Thingy-Mabob, Seville and Stade Rennais. 2-1 victory. It took a late Vardy penalty in the 92nd minute to get past Stade Rennais, which is still not quite there with European games, are we? We wasn't there last season. We struggled and it took a late penalty to do that, but we did win the game ultimately from a losing position, which is fantastic news. And a bit of a change side against Bradford City, but Filip Benkovic scored. We progressed with a 1-0 victory. He did play quite well. We had Dewsbury Hall got his first start. Vlasic played again. We did drop him for the Stade Rennais game and the Manchester City game as well. Luke Thomas had a game. Tommy St. Jago is a new name you can see there as well. He's another new player. He's a defender. We'll go through some of these signings next up, but first of all we'll show you what is happening in the Premier League. So we're currently residing in 6th. We've got 2 games in hand over Liverpool, who are ahead of us. 2 games in hand over Manchester City as well, who are 8 points clear of us. They're currently top of the table, but a win for us will ultimately take us into 3rd if we win our game in hand. West Brom are up there doing very well. They survived last year by the skin of their teeth. Now up to 3rd. Leeds struggling at the bottom there of 1 point from 6 games. Forest, good to see them down there, isn't it, as a Leicester City fan? They're struggling with life in the Premier League as it stands. So it's a good start for us. 3 wins out of 5. 1 defeat, 1 draw against Tottenham and Manchester City isn't a bad start at all. And today we face Blackburn Rovers, who are in 13th, had a decent start to life in the Premier League. 2 wins from 6 games. Let's have a look at some of the transfers then, shall we? Nothing to really tell you about players out, but we did bring in 2 players. So, first of all, what we will say is Schlager, who we was after from the last episode, Xaver Schlager, I think his name was. Well, the fee was agreed. He decided to not sign the contract. He didn't like the signing on fee, wages and agreed playing time either, so he didn't sign. And there was also Sadalak as well from PSV Eindhoven. He failed his medical. He was due to sign for us. The fee was agreed. Can't remember what the fee was right now. Contract was, I think it was like 16 million. Contract was signed, but he was out injured for the next few weeks, so we decided not to sign him. It's a shame. He was a good player on paper, but as you probably saw from the last, I didn't really plan that well, did I? I showed you who we signed already, but we did opt for Florentino Luis, £46 million from Benfica. Good young Portuguese player, 22 years old, £53 million valued, and he's just going to be a very good player. He can play all roles in midfield, central midfielder, ball winning midfielder, box to box, deep line playmaker, and so on. Very good player indeed. If we play 4-4-2 diamond, he can sit at the back of the diamond in defensive midfield role. We can play anywhere across the midfield basically, just not in the attacking midfielder role. Very good signing indeed. Very pleased with him. His tackling's fantastic, passing's brilliant, good at penalties as well. Teamwork, position and work rate, look at that, all good. The vision's fantastic as well. Perfect all-round midfield player. Absolutely delighted with that. We did desperately need a defender, and we did get one. Tommy Santiago for £27.5 million from FC Utrecht. Again, my pronunciation is terrible. He comes in, 21-year-old Dutch player. He's got an international. He's got an under-21 cap, just the one, and he looks good as well. He hasn't really featured yet. His first start was in the cup game. It wasn't even a start actually. It was just his first appearance for us. He was off the subs bench. He's not going to get in front of Fofana or Soyuncu currently, but great attributes again, and he's a player who is just going to progress and progress and progress, and hopefully will turn into a very decent player for us. I'm very pleased with him. I am disappointed we didn't bring in a left back for cover for James Justin. Of course, Castagna and Ricardo have now left the club, so that is one area I am concerned about. Still a little bit concerned about the defence, but it is what it is. We've got to work with what we've got now up until at least January, where we still have £70 million left in the transfer budget. So hopefully we can go and still sign somebody in the January window if we need them. Hopefully a left back, because we do desperately need one, don't we? In other news, the skipper Wes Morgan retired in the summer. I probably forgot to mention that, but he has now rejoined the club as the under-18s manager, which is fantastic to have him at the club while he studies for his coaching badges. And yeah, good step onto the ladder for him. Under-18s manager. It's good to have the title-winning captain. Technically, the most successful captain at Leicester City, winning the Championship with us and then the Premier League. It's good to see him take his first steps into coaching and managerial positions at Leicester City. Nothing to do with me. That was all down to John Rudkin. Fair play, John Rudkin, the director of football. I think that's a good move, bringing Big Wes back to the football club. Couple of early season injuries to report as well. One is Iosi Perez. Again, I was saying about how injuries affected him last season, his position in the side, especially after starting the season so well for us. He's out for another further 2 weeks for an abdominal strain. He's been out for, that'll make it to about a month that he's been out for, so he's missed a little bit of football there. And Kelechi Iheanacho as well, with a pulled thigh. He's out for another 4 days. He was out for a couple of weeks, which meant we've had to play Vardy throughout the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, which is not ideal with Vardy's age. So he's playing a lot of games. I'm surprised not to see him on the high injury risk list at the top. There he is. He's just down the bottom there. Jamie Vardy. High injury risk, match fatigue and tactical intensity. So we have got to keep an eye on Jamie Vardy. Maybe when Iheanacho's back, play Iheanacho a little bit more than Vardy, just to give Vardy a little rest here and there. We did play Harvey Barnes in the Carabao Cup late on in the game, probably the last half hour, as a forward instead of Vardy, just to give him a little respite. And to be honest, it was a very comfortable game. That it was only 1-0, but we didn't look like in any danger of losing it, so that's why I was comfortable bringing Vardy off and giving him a little rest. And to be honest, if you can't, no disrespect to Bradford, if we can't deal with Bradford with a few key players out, then we shouldn't probably be aiming for top 4, should we? But let's get straight into it then. Blackburn at home in the Premier League, and hopefully another 3 points to go with it. So Schmeichel in goal, Justin, Soyuncu, Fofana, Tomiyasu, Luis, your first sight of him. Tielemans, Barnes, Maddison, Vlasic and Jamie Vardy up top, leading the line. On the bench we've got Thomas, Santiago, Dewsbury Hall, Albrighton, Chowdhury, Prayat and Benkovic. Wilfred Ndidi is out. It looks like he's passed his fitness test actually, so we will put him on to the bench, probably in place of Dewsbury Hall. Gazal's been playing quite well as well. I don't know why he's not on the bench. We're going to put him back on the bench too, probably for Benkovic. We don't need 2 centre-backs on the bench in my opinion, so we've got Gazal there. Gazal scored a couple of goals already this season for us, so he is doing well. I think actually he might have just got the one. It was at Newcastle. I'm not sure if he scored in Europe. He may have done. He certainly got one at least. Let's get straight into it then. I'm intrigued to see what Blackburn are like. If you've been around on the channel for a while, you'll know that I did a Sleeping Giant save with Blackburn last year, where the challenge was to win the Premier League within 5 seasons. and we just missed out on the last season by like a last-minute goal. It was crazy. So got a little bit of a soft spot for Blackburn in game. Keep an eye on them. It's good to see them up in the Premier League, but hopefully they don't do anything to us today to upset the apple cart here and knock us off our stride. We do need to bounce back after the Manchester City defeat, and hopefully we can do that at home to Blackburn. You'd like to think so. If you want top four, you've got to beat the promoted sides at home. Vlasic with the ball in. Adam Armstrong, the danger man. Very good in FM, isn't he, Adam Armstrong? Bit weird why Blackburn aren't in a changed kit today. Harvey Barnes into the box. Barnes strikes, and it's saved by Kaminski in the Blackburn Rovers goal. Apologies if you heard a boom. I just knocked my mic out the way. Maddison, is that a penalty there? It looked like Barnes was rugby tackled to the ground. Was it Barnes or Vardy? No idea who it was. I don't think you need to go to VAR for that, do you? You don't need to look at the screen. VAR should see that was a rugby tackle. Let's see what they say here. It's got to be a penalty, surely. He was just like speared out of the air, wasn't he? And they're taking their time over this. What's he going to give? It's got to be a penalty, and it is. So Jamie Vardy has an opportunity to add to his goal tally for the season. 18 minutes in, Jamie Vardy steps up. Jamie Vardy misses. Kaminski goes the right way. And it's still Leicester 0, Blackburn 0. I had a little feeling Vardy was going to miss that. Fulham take the lead at Forest. Maddison whips the ball in, looking for Vlasic. And Barnes does really well to win the ball back. Tielemans got quite a bit of space here. Soyuncu. And that is end of highlights. Still 0-0. So a little bit disappointing that. There's a good chance to go 1-0 up. We haven't taken it. Hopefully that doesn't dent the confidence. It will certainly give Blackburn some confidence knowing that we've missed a great opportunity to go 1-0 up here. 25 minutes gone, still 0-0. As it stands, we'll still be 6th in the league. A win will take us back up, probably into 3rd. Manchester United playing now. They're playing Everton, drawing 0-0. So come on, boys. Let's make the most of this. We're going to drop some encouragement on there. I don't want to lambast them. We're dominating the game. We've had a lot more chances than Blackburn have. XG of 1.22. We should be ahead. Hopefully, with this highlight, we can make something happen just before half-time. Vlasic, James Justin! That surely was a cross that's cannoned off the bar. He obviously got the cross wrong there, but it nearly ended up in the far corner, and that would have been lovely if it did. It is 0-0 at half-time. We're going to get into them a little bit. We're not happy with the performance, boys. Is there any changes we can make just to try and, not set-piece changes, Dan, just to try and just spark something better in there. I'm a bit worried about Tamiyasu. He's playing a lot of games recently. He's played every minute of every game. He's hitting a 6.5 at the moment, and that's probably a contributing factor, the fact he's played every single game. Tielemans not having a good one in there either. The minute, I'm happy to leave it as is. Luis can also play deep line playmaker role, so he could be a player that just pushes Tielemans a little bit this year. We're going to carry on with it as is, because of course, remember last year Tielemans dropped off form big time, and then we spoke to him, and then towards the end of the season he was superb. So hopefully, with Luis coming in, with Ndidi getting fitter, there's going to be a bit of a battle there, because for me, no one gets in front of Wilfred Ndidi when he's fully fit. Nyambe, Lenihan goes long. There's some real familiar names in this Blackburn team. It seems weird commentating against them. James Justin into Yuri Tielemans, back to Kasper Schmeichel. Come on, boys, forwards. We don't want to go backwards. We want to take it to them. Bit more intensity, lads. Florentino Luis, Vlasic coming forward now. Vlasic, how's he playing today? 6.6, a pretty average again from him. Albeit, I know it's not ideal him being on the right-hand side, but nothing I can do about that. That's the only way he fits into this team at the moment. Smallbone on the ball, coming forward now for Blackburn Rovers. Good challenge from Vlasic, but Smallbone still has it. I still don't know why they're not in their away kit today. Maybe it's all blue. Who knows? Cafaro looking for Hernandez, but good spell this from Blackburn, keeping the ball nicely, and Adam Armstrong's in behind. Adam Armstrong strikes, and it hits the side netting, and it's still 0-0, but that is the threat of Blackburn Rovers. We're going to demand more from the boys. Come on, lads. We need to be better than this. 65th minute is on the clock. We are going to have a little pause and a little think here. James Maddison's not playing well, so we might put Vlasic in the middle, give him an opportunity there. Mark Albright, I'll tell you what, Rashid Gazelle, we'll put Gazelle in, and also put him on an attacking role. So we've got two players, Barnes and Gazelle, attacking now, looking to join up with Vardy. We might put Vardy as a support, so then it allows Barnes and Gazelle to get ahead of him. Maybe that will help link things up a little bit more. Maybe Yuri on an advanced playmaker role on attack as well. So players should be getting forward a little bit more and supporting Jamie Vardy up there, and perhaps getting in behind him. I think that's what we'll do for now. I'll look to give Wilfred Ndidi some game time in about 10 minutes time, I think. Maybe put Luis in the deep line playmaker role instead of Tielemans. But 20 minutes remaining. Boys, this is terrible. Come on. We're going to fire them up now. Come on, lads. We need to be winning this game. Vlasic is looking tired already. Come on, boys. Not good at all, is it? 10 minutes remaining. It is still Blackburn 0, still Leicester 0, Blackburn 0. We might go to the 4-4-2, you know. Barnes up top, Vlasic, Tielemans, Luiz, Gazal. I've just brought Gazal on. That's the only problem with this. Yes, that is a bit of a problem, to be fair. How can we fit him in? Let's put them fullbacks on attack. It's just not clicking for us today. Gazal as a ball-winning midfielder is not going to work. He can play. Let's put him as a bit of a roaming playmaker, shall we? I think that's the only way it's going to work. I know I could bring someone else on, but it's a little bit harsh bringing him straight off, isn't it? Can he play up top? He certainly can't play up top, can he? A little bit of thinking here. So, Gazal, roaming playmaker. We're going to go with it. We have to win the game. Come on, boys. Harvey Barnes is a deep line forward. I know this isn't ideal personnel-wise, but we need to do something, don't we? Indeed, he's not coming on, unfortunately for him. Right, come on, Leicester. Justin, with the long throws, cleared from Matt Targett, who's obviously joined from Aston Villa in the summer. Adam Armstrong coming forward now for Blackburn. This is dangerous. When he gets on the ball, things can happen. Hernandez plays it in field to Peugeot. Peugeot into March. Thomas, March, this is dangerous. Adam Armstrong's in. Adam Armstrong scores for Blackburn Rovers. And this is a real kick in the teeth for us. I didn't see this result coming. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1. And this is a real poor result for us today. I didn't expect it with the way we've been playing. But all of a sudden, after the fantastic start, that's 2 Premier League defeats in a row. March's ball in. Soinchu just stepped off Armstrong. Armstrong lost his man. And it is 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers. I mean, I don't think they deserve it, but they've defended well enough, haven't they, to go up the other end and get their only chance of the game, the only shot on target, and win the game. That reminds me of something that would happen to Leicester City in real life at home, especially. Some of the sides we've lost to this season is crazy, and that kind of reflects what can happen at Leicester. It doesn't surprise me at all. So as it stands, we're 7th in the league. We're still only 3 points outside the top 4. It's very early days. Hopefully we can find a bit of form again in the Premier League, because it was such a promising start. I didn't expect us to lose to Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn are a point behind us now. They'll be dreaming of Champions League football, won't they? I've got them there before, so they can do it. Oh, not good, is it? Right. Let's have a look when we'll bring you back for then. So we'll bring you back in about 6 games' time, which will be Arsenal. I tell you what, Forest. It's got to be Nottingham Forest, isn't it? At home in the Premier League. Hopefully that's not a game that we bottle and don't win that one. We have to smash Nottingham Forest. So between that, we've got games against Fulham and Leeds and Brighton. There's winnable games there. We should be looking for 9 points. We've got Seville away in the Europa League. Hopefully, that was the last 16 tie in the Champions League a few years ago. Hopefully we can go there and get a point at least to keep our Europa League progress on track. We've got to beat Fulham and Leeds and look to beat Brighton as well. And Forest. There's winnable games coming up for sure. So guys, if you did enjoy that, please leave a like on the video. Unfortunately, we was unable to beat a side that we should be beating if we want top 4, but hopefully we'll bounce back over the next few weeks and give Forest a good hide in tomorrow's episode. But thank you for watching, guys. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit the little bell to be notified every time I upload a video. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time here on Reesy FC. Bye bye.